Cek. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat sore, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Yang terhormat Wakil Rektor Bapak Dani Rusirawan, ST, MT, PhD. Yang terhormat Bapak Jono Suhartono, ST, MT, PhD. Dan yang terhormat seluruh dosen yang sudah menyempatkan hadir pada kesempatan kali ini. Alhamdulillah, puji syukur kita panjatkan karena berkat rahmatnya, kita masih bisa berkumpul untuk bersama-sama menimba ilmu dan dengan para sumber yang luar biasa, meski harus dilaksanakan secara online. Semoga kita tetap sehat selalu.
Amin.
Seminar online kali ini mengusung tema Case Study for Mechanical Engineering Department. Sebelum memulai acara, perkenalkan nama saya Givari Laseha, selaku MC pada sore hari ini untuk membacakan susunan acara. Yang pertama, pembukaan. Yang kedua, sambutan. Yang ketiga, pemaparan materi oleh Profesor Dr. Isvan Zabo dari Education Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Dan dimoderatori oleh Bapak Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Aleksin Putra. Selanjutnya, yang terakhir itu penutup. Memasuki agenda selanjutnya yaitu pembukaan. Marilah kita sama-sama membuka acara pada hari ini dengan berdoa menurut kepercayaan masing-masing. Berdoa dimulai. Doa selesai. Selanjutnya akan ada penyampaian sambutan dari Wakil Rektor Bapak Dani Rusirawan, ST, MT, PhD.
Pak Jono, sama Pak Jono, Dekan.
Masuk sama Pak Dekan aja.
Maaf, untuk sambutan akan disampaikan oleh Dekan FTI, Bapak Jono Suhartono, ST, MT, PhD. Waktu dan layar dipersilakan.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Givari, for the time. All right, to the Honorable and Excellency Professor Dr. Isvan Zabo, good morning, sir.
Morning.
And to the Honorable our Vice Rector, Dr. Dani Rusirawan, and to the Honorable our Head of Department of Mechanical Engineering, Mr. Tito Santika, and to the Honorable Lecturer of Mechanical Engineering, and also from other departments, and my friends, to all the students of ITENAS and all of the participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Yes. Firstly, thanks to Allah who has given us health and mercy, so we can attend today's guest lecture. We also deliver our gratitude to Professor Isvan Zabo, who have kindly willing to share his excellencies with us. And thank you for joining this guest lecture, Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are aware that the modernization of industrial process day by day not only are growing very fast, but also the utilization of industrial technology itself are become more advanced and sophisticated. The use of modern technology in industrial were subject to obtain high efficiency and effective production process. Thus, the industries will obtain more economic value by implementing this modern technology. Therefore, to overcome this competency of students, lecturers should improve their teaching ability and also innovate their teaching method. Today, we will have a talk from Professor Sabo how to innovate our learning and develop our teaching method. So this is a very good opportunity for us. Yeah, so please focus on this guest lecture so we can get more benefit from this event. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to achieve high-skilled students to face the global era and the Asian economic community, the updated information of technology knowledge in education are demand. Therefore, I am very happy to the visiting Professor Isvan Sabo to our university. I am pretty sure this sharing activity will improve and enrich of our knowledge in teaching development. I also wish this event could strengthen our cooperation between ITENAS and the Hungarian University. And to the participant, please admit this precious time and the opportunity to gain more knowledge in learning innovation. Finally, I would like to apologize if any mistake I made, and thank you for your time and attention. Good afternoon and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Baik, saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada Pak Jono atas sambutannya. Selanjutnya kita memasuki acara inti, yaitu pemaparan materi oleh Bapak Profesor Dr. Isvan Sabo dari Education Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences, dan akan dipandu langsung oleh Bapak Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Aleksin Putra. Kepada Bapak Aleksin, waktu dan layar dipersilakan.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Professor Sabo. Thank you all for finding time and visiting guest lecture of Mechanical Engineering Department of ITENAS Bandung webinar. My name is Aleksin Putra, and I'm moderator for this webinar. I would like to read a short biography of Professor Dr. Isvan Sabo. Professor Sabo presently is Vice Rector for Education from Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences, Kudolo, Hungary. Professor Sabo graduated from Kudolo University. In 1991, he received his Doctor of University degree from St. Isvan University, and later in 2001, a PhD degree in the field of technical sciences. In the year of 2008, he has been awarded the Doctor Habilitation degree, and since 2005, he has been the director of the Institute of Mechanics and Machinery at the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. And during the period of 2008-2016, he served as the Dean of the faculty. And between 2016 and 2018, he was appointed as the Vice Rector for International Relations of St. Isvan University. His research interest includes new methodologies in engineering design, computer-aided engineering, and information technologies in agriculture. He is the author of several books and more than 200 scientific articles. Recently, he is the program leader of the AgitFIC project research program aiming at developing advanced IT solutions for tractors and implements. Presently, Professor Isvan Sapu is a visiting professor of different universities in Europe. Okay, without further delay, I would like to invite Professor Sapu to share the presentation. Time is yours, Professor.
Thank you very much for this kind introduction. Good morning and good afternoon in Indonesia. It is a really great pleasure to take part on this online event, and I'm really thankful for the organizers to include me as an invited speaker. I have visited Itanas a couple of years ago, and I have very warm memories about my visit, and not just memories, but also I have some small present I took from Itanas, so it's always on my desk, and I remember even the sound of such a musical instrument. Dear colleagues, I have prepared some presentation for you. I will start with it, but in case you have any questions or you need any clarifications, please just interrupt me. It's a very flexible form of communication, but at the end of my lecture, I will spare some time for questions officially as well. So I try to share my screen, and I do hope that it will work. Yep. The title of my presentation is Innovation of Learning Development, the case study of the Institute of Technology of the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences. You may not know that the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences is a rather new entity of the Hungarian higher education platform, although we have hundreds of years of experience in higher education, but due to some organizational changes, MATE became a new entity, a new university, which was established only this year. The Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences is not just represent a new name, a new title in the Hungarian higher education spectrum, but also this is a new form of education in Hungary. Our university is not a state-owned university any longer. Our owner is a foundation, but of course we are in touch with the Hungarian government since they are financing majority of our activities. But as a legal entity, we became a really new and independent higher education institution. My presentation will be split into three major parts. The first one is about the university, with some emphasis on how we see the future, how we see the role of MATE, the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences, in the future. Also, I will touch some issues regarding internationalization, where our university would like to play a very key role, including the cooperation with Itanas, of course. And the third part would be the case study on the Institute of Technology, how we work and what is the Institute of Technology within the framework of our university. So as I mentioned before, we are a relatively new university, but we have very historical predecessors, including the Szent István University, which is the major entity or the major unit of our new university. Also, we had a university in Kaposvár. Kaposvár is in the western part of Hungary. It's here. the Georgikon faculty, it's in Keszthely, and also we had a campus in Gyöngyös. So these independent higher education institutions joined together and formed the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Also, a National Research Institute, a quite large national research institute from the field of agriculture was joining us. So today we have some 15,000 students, maybe a little bit less at this point, and 2,400, 2,500 employees. So MATE is a relatively large entity in the Hungarian higher educational spectrum. Of course, in Indonesia, you may have larger universities or larger populations on a campus, but in Hungarian terms, MATE is a player of definite size. As you can see, majority of the students are following some programs in the field of agriculture. That's roughly half of the students. Agriculture, life sciences, rural development, or environmental engineering. That's the majority of our student population. Also, we have a strong link to economics. We have conventional programs in the field of economics like tourism or finance and management. So that type of programs are quite popular among our students. But we also have a quite strong engineering or technical higher education. Roughly 10–15% of the total student body is following some sort of programs in the field of engineering. And we have some adjacent or some special programs like pedagogy and arts. We have an institute where performing art is the key subject. So we have graduates with actor or actress degrees. So it's a really unique scenario of higher education at our university. We have identified some strategic goals for our university. We indeed would like to become one of the key players in the European and the worldwide range of universities. So we want to go up to the best 100 university in the field of life sciences according to the international rankings. We want to keep or preserve this multidisciplinary approach. So we are not going to change the profile of our university. We want to keep all the disciplinaries we are following at, or we are having at this point. And we want to be focused on research activities. Without strong research programs, a university cannot be successful in the international platform. And last but not least, we want to rely very strongly on the satisfaction and engagement of our students. So we want to become a more and more student-centered university where students' opinion are heard, and the opinion of the students or the experience of the students are being integrated into our educational activities. Just a very brief introduction to the matrix model of our university. We are following the conventional university model, except that we have no faculties. We have institutes. Institute is the basic unit of the university. So institutes are somehow in the center of our activities, and these institutes are the horizontal lines of our matrix, and the vertical lines are the programs we teach. So for a degree program, let's call it degree program 1, several institutes contribute some learning package, but as an overall result, the student will study at different institutions. And to have it even more complex, we have 5 campuses. So these programs are taught at different locations. So degree 1 program can be followed in Gödöllő at the Szent István campus, or can be followed in the Buda campus, which is the capital of Hungary, and the same institutes are somehow represent that program at the given campus. We need to have a very strong land management system. Land management means that we have some lands owned by the university. I will tell you about it later. It's relatively big, so we have our own companies to manage the operation of the university, not just the buildings, not just the building operation, but also the land operation. And of course, we have a rector as the general manager, or the highest positioned manager of the university. Maybe later I will give you some details how we manage our activities. I don't want to spend much time. As you can see, we started our activities as MATE, as Life Science University last year, because we had to design how we operate. In 2021, we were re-established. So that's the official starting point of our activities. And in the next 4 or 5 years, we will be in a transformation process to change the scope of activities, to change the programs of our education, and to change the organizational structure and the infrastructural background of the university. So it's a long run for a university, but we understand that for a university, 5 years is the normal, the conventional cycle of activities, because that's how a student can graduate from 0 to master level. So that's why we identified 5 years as the period of transformation. We have many activities for these 5 years, but I just named the 3 major columns of our programs or of our activities in the future. The first one is, of course, the education and internationalization, how we teach and what we teach. Also, we have a strong leg in research and third mission. Third mission means how can we integrate our activities into the local community or into the society. So how can we transfer our knowledge towards the society? And the third one is how we operate, how we create a more efficient university, a more state-of-the-art university. In case of the education, and I will detail only the educational activities, we are about to revitalize the curriculum. Each and every program is being redesigned for a new curriculum. It's a very time-consuming task, but we need to go through it, because we want to provide the students with the up-to-date knowledge and up-to-date methodology in terms of education. We want to increase the efficiency of education, and we want to match the needs of the market, or the needs of the industry, the needs of the companies in touch with us, to provide the best students, the best graduates for their work. And as I already mentioned, we want to have a strong internationalization program. First of all, we want to be more recognized in the international platform. I already mentioned that. We want to increase the international student body. We want to have more students visiting our university, and we want to have more students visiting other universities in the world, and that's valid for the university staff as well. We are about to establish some international higher education programs, joint degree programs, or dual degree programs. One of them is designed with ITANAS. So ITANAS will be one of the first universities where we will have some sort of legal joint degree program for the future, and I'm sure that we can finalize the agreement with ITANAS. We are at the very end of this procedure. Professor Rushiravan is the key actor in that field, and since we are in touch with him, I'm sure that it will be finalized very soon. Some words about education in a detailed manner. As I mentioned to you, we have three major group of programs at the university. The biggest one, or the major one, is the agriculture and life science related, so direct link to the biosystems. That's roughly half or 60% of the total student number is following some programs in this field. We have the related programs. Related programs means that we need to provide experts for agriculture and for the rural development, who are business people studying economics, or engineers studying some fields of the engineering fields. That's where my institute plays a key role. And also, as I mentioned, we have some very special program like pedagogy or art or foreign languages. We even teach foreign languages for students. That's minority, but very important minority of our programs. As I mentioned, as the university, as a whole university, we are changing the profile of education as we teach and what we teach. We are changing at all platforms the educational structure. And we are also changing the educational content. So we teach, we change what we teach, and we change how we teach. The basic guideline for our reconstruction work is tailoring our degrees to satisfy the needs of the industry and the students. We want to attract more international talents, students and professors, and we want to increase our activities in the postgraduate training programs. So postgraduate training programs means that after graduation, we want to continue the learning process with our clients, with our engineers, to provide them with specific short cycle trainings. We are a truly international organization. We have students from over 100 countries. A majority of the students are coming on the basis of some sort of Hungarian scholarship programs. From Indonesia, we have some students. Also, we have European scholarship programs like Erasmus, but also we have quite large number of self-funding students, so the students who pay their role. And as you see, we have students from Indonesia. Their number is not the biggest, but they are very talented and very smart. So we are very happy to have them. And of course, we will be more than happy to see more of your students, or more students from Indonesia. We want to enhance some initiatives in the future. And that's a general approach, how we want to change the scope of our activities. First of all, we have already started, I will give you some examples. We have already started some large-scale development of the infrastructure. So if we want to be more significant in the international platform, then we definitely need state-of-the-art or very modern infrastructure. So we just about to start a huge development program. We will build a new campus in Gödöllő. We have already started it, but it will be finished, as I mentioned, in a 5-year period of time. We want to increase the international mobility. That's very important, to have more students here on campus, to send more students abroad, to have more professors from abroad, and to send more teaching staff abroad. And as a long-term objective, we want to change the form of education at master level. We want to introduce English-only programs, hopefully in a 5-year period. So all the master programs will be taught only in English. At this point, the PhD programs are taught almost entirely in English, since we have many students. Majority of the students are following some English programs in our PhD schools, but changing that at master programs requires some efforts, and that's a long-term goal, long-term strategy. Some words about the research. These are the research areas we have all together, and the research staff allocated to certain research fields. As you can see, engineering is in line with other areas. We have 78 PhD person in the field of engineering, but as you can see, in the field of agriculture, we have a much larger staff, since we integrated a national research institute, which was originally entirely dedicated to agriculture and biology research. It's not a coincidence that we have more people in the field of agriculture and life sciences as research staff. I have already introduced you some in some form or operation in Hungary. Once again, we have 5 campuses, but we have 50. If I remember correctly, we have 56 locations in Hungary where we have some sort of physical buildings where people can get in touch with us. So it's a really network-based university, and all of our campuses are playing very active role in the local community. So somehow we want to be present or activities all over the country, and we ask our campuses to be embedded into the local society. So we introduce initiatives like senior universities, so to involve elderly people into some study programs, or the researchers' night, which is a great activity. For an evening, we invite the local community into the university to see what we do. Also, we have an open university initiative, so everyone can study some sorts of programs at the campuses. So really, we want to be open towards the society as a responsibility for that. I don't want to go into details how we provide this third mission activities for the society. Maybe the most important issue I need to mention is that we want to provide straightforward support for local small businesses. So local businesses, local companies are not in the position to conduct high-level research activities. In some cases, they don't even have engineers. So it is our mission to provide with them the up-to-date knowledge, the up-to-date information, the up-to-date assistance or services, which is needed for them to be successful in their profile. So it's very important to support the local businesses around the university, around all campuses we have. And last but not least, just a few words about the operation, and then I will change to the major issue or the most important issue to introduce or institute, the Institute of Technology for you. So this is the general form of education. As you see, we have a conventional university operation model. We have the rector, we have a board of trustees. Board of trustees are independent from the university, but they are the decision makers. We have 5 people. They are responsible for everything regarding the university. The Senate is formulated from university people. The majority of them is university professor, but also students are represented in the Senate. So the board of trustees is a body from decision makers outside the university. The Senate is somehow provides the academic oversight of our activities. And we have the 21 institutes. One of them is the Institute of Technology, my institute. And we have, three vice rectors. The general one is for strategy and planning. We have a vice rector for science and also a vice rector for education and international activity. That's me. And also we have 2 director generals. One responsible for the money, for the economic affairs, and the other one is from the legal aspects and the human resource development and IT. So this quality assurance, that type of activity. So this is the management. And as I told you, the 21 institute operates at 5 campuses. So this is a real complex organization. We need to pay quite a strong attention on how to manage in an efficient way the activities of our university. As you can see, we have some split of the students across the campuses. Of course, the Gödöllő one is the biggest. And you can see that the engineering, my institute, has the largest student number from Gödöllő, but also we have some students from the campus Gyöngyös. The Gyöngyös campus students are studying only information technology, so that's an independent field. Majority of the students are studying something in Gödöllő, and another split of students regarding the disciplines. You can see the engineering field is represented at 4 campuses. These 4 campuses are the locations where we teach engineering students. So that's how we operate, and that this slide reflects somehow the complexity of our educational activities. Okay, and this is the last slide about the university, and then I change for the institute. I will change the color, even the slides. The university has 12,000 hectares of lands. I'm not sure if you use hectare for the land size, but if you, that's one hectare is 10,000 square meters. So with 12,000 hectares in Hungary, we are the 5th largest agriculture company as a company. So it requires some some efforts from our university to be efficient in practice, but that's very good because our students are not just studying the theory of agriculture or environmental protection or mechanical engineering, but they can also practice their work in our operations at the land use or land use companies. And these lands are for academic research, a small portion of that, some commercial activities. So we are working as a company, we are selling our products, and also for practical training. So our university is sending some of the students to do their practice or practical assignments at our own companies. And now about the Institute of Technology. The picture shows you the headquarters of our institute. That's where Professor Rushiravan did his PhD a couple of years ago. This is the former Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, but now it is called MAIT Institute of Technology. Altogether, we have 110 teachers and staff members. We operate at 5 locations, as I mentioned to you: Gödöllő, Budapest, Gyöngyös, Keszthely, Kaposvár. The blue ones are the locations where we have departments. The others, where we have some staff members, but we don't have departments. So just a few people are working there. But as you could see, we also have students in those campuses. So it's really difficult to organize their teaching process. Oops, sorry, I just pushed some buttons. Yes. We have a quite long history in engineering activities. The first department, which belongs today to our institute, was established in 1867. And it was a very interesting period of time, but because within 2 years, another one was established in Gödöllő. So in Keszthely, Gödöllő, 200 years of activities or history we have, and that's a tradition we can rely on. This is the overall organizational chart of our institute. Even the chart is complicated, and the whole institute is complicated in this way. That's the head of the institute, that's me. We have an advisory board that's very important. Advisory board is people coming from outside, from industries, from companies, and they revise our educational activities. They are provided with information, what we teach, how we teach. They also have some access for the students' opinion, what students think about our education, and that's very, very important for us. I put the director above the council, and that's not a mistake. At this point, the director is in one person responsible for the operation of the institute. The council makes some advice, but makes decisions just in very, very rare cases. The director in one person is responsible for all the activities of the institute, and that's unique. Earlier, we had always the council as the major decision-making body. Today, the council only an advisory board or an advisory role. I have 2 deputies, and we have 4 centers. We call it centers, where different departments are working together. The agriculture engineering, these are dealing with life science and agricultural engineering issues. Mechanical engineering center, it's a conventional mechanical engineering activity-based center. And we have a digital economy or center for digitalization of the economy. Here we have the departments of informatics and mechatronics and technology management. So those departments which are somehow related to the digital transformation process. And we have a knowledge transfer center, a very important part of our institute. We have a museum of machinery, We also have a couple of journals. The editorial activities are done here. And also we have an adult education unit. So this is the unit where we organize all the continuing education or adult education process. Our educational profile at the Institute is quite clear. After the secondary school, the students take some entrance exams. It's mathematics, and one of these, as a matter of fact. So we ask the students to pass some exams from mathematics and from biology, physics, informatics, chemistry, or engineering, one of these, and they can enroll into our bachelor program. They can enroll or dual mode program, or they can enroll or post-secondary training program. The post-secondary is after the secondary education. It's between the university level education, between the bachelor and the secondary school programs. I'm not familiar whether you have it in Indonesia, but we have in Hungary. In Europe, it's quite popular for some of the students. They are studying like engineering assistant or programming or something important field, but it's not a bachelor degree program. And after the post-secondary training, they can join the bachelor program as well. The bachelor programs are 7 semester long. The master programs are 4 semester long. And we have a doctoral school with a 4 semester PhD program. And that's the overall structure of our educational activity. The dual mode program, I will touch that later. The dual mode program is a special program where the training of the student is being shared between the university and one company. So they enroll into this program at the company, but of course they must fulfill the entrance exam requirements from the university as well. And in that case, they are following a conventional educational program at our faculty, at our institute, at our university, but also they spend 22 weeks each year at a company. At the company, they enrolled. Also, we have a cooperative training program. This is just the last year of the study at the bachelor or at the master program. In this case, the student is studying as a conventional student, but the last year, the last 2 semesters mainly, is spent at a company. So writing the thesis or writing the diploma work, they do at the company. Also today, it's a recent, very recent development. The doctoral program can be done in a cooperative manner. So the doctoral student is located at the company. So the research and the scientific work is organized partly by the company. So we ensure that the findings of the doctoral the doctoral programs will be utilized by the company. So this is the overall techniques of education. That's the structure of the education, and these are the programs what we have at the Institute of Technology. As I told you, we have post-secondary education, IT, and programming. We are just about to launch the engineering assistant and an agricultural program as well, but right now we have students only on the first one. The bachelor programs are mechanical engineering, biosystems engineering, technology management, and mechatronics. These are the bachelor programs. And we have 4 master programs. As I mentioned to you, bachelor programs are 7 semesters in each cases, and master programs are 4 semesters in each cases. Of course, many of the students following directly this line, but some of the students makes a more complex study. So after mechanical engineering, let's say they continue on technology management. Or in case of the mechatronics, they follow the biosystems engineering master programs, because agriculture requires lots of expertise from mechatronics. So it can be combined. It's not a direct straight line. how we change the way we teach the students. At our institute, we have 4 pillars, 4 areas where we try to reform or rechange or reshape the activities, what we do. The first one is, and I will go into details on the next slides, student-centered. So we want to do our education with the student in the central point or the focus point, extremely practice-oriented. So we want to provide all the theories the students need, but we want to focus on the practical assumptions. We have a very strong digitalization platform. I will tell you about it later. And also integrated some soft skills development like language or teamwork. Also, I will address these later, but you need to remember that we have 4 equally important pillars of our new educational methodology. The student-centeredness. What does it mean? We have decreased the weekly classroom hours. Earlier, it was as large as 34, 38. Today, with the new curriculum, and it was just introduced this September, so we are going up to the curriculum with this new version. The weekly classroom hours are less than 30. In some cases as less as 24. We want to give the students only the essential obligatory lessons. So we just want to identify the direction of their studies, to provide them some guidance of how to discover the knowledge, but majority of the studies must be done independently, alone or in group, because that's probably more sufficient. Lectures are not obligatory. It means that the student can decide whether they enjoy a lecture or not. Practices, when we are in a laboratory, that's obligatory because students have no facilities for laboratory work, but even the laboratory activities are organized in a very flexible way, so multiple times they can accomplish certain tasks. Even the lectures are biased towards practices, so even the theory should be somehow practice-oriented. Students must understand why they need the theory, why they need to learn partial differential equations. If they don't see that it has some role in their future activities, then it will not be studied in depth by the students. We have flexible scheduling, so we try to provide some free space for the students regarding the daily hours of timetables. We introduced a block-based program. Block-based program means that we put together one semester in our university means 13 weeks of activities, one semester. But we can group a certain subject that it is taught only for 6 weeks, but for 6 weeks with a double intensity. So we can split even the one semester into 2 parts. One part is dedicated to only a few subjects, and the other part is dedicated to the rest of the subjects. So the students can focus even more on certain subject areas. We have a very significant review from our students. So we ask the students to evaluate the teaching process, and it is evaluated or it's being studied by the management of the university and even the advisory board, as I mentioned. We revise all the content of each subject area, how relevant is for the industry, for the companies, how the teaching process includes the modern state-of-the-art knowledge. And we have a very strong digital approach. So practically every subject area being taught with some digital flavors, so using computer programs or computer modeling or computer simulations. So something which is computer based, because that's what the students need from us. Practice oriented, the other pillar. I mentioned that we have a dual education, already mentioned that we have a corporate training. We have rebuilt our laboratory system with the assistance of some companies. So we have company-based laboratories all over the institutes, Microsoft, the National Instruments, the General Electric, the Bosch, the Festo, the John Deere, and I could continue with this. We have roughly 30, 35 companies which have some sort of on-campus laboratories established, and the students can study the technologies these laboratories provide. Also in the practices, we have the block-based approach. We have Open Lab. Open Lab is a new initiative from our Institute of Technology. Open Lab means that we provide a laboratory infrastructure for the students. They form a team and they can design some sort of new product or technology, and they can realize that. So they can produce it, they can design, they can produce it. We provide not just the laboratory, but in some cases, we provide also the financial instruments for that. So the students can indeed discover some new technologies, some new products. And also we introduced just very recently the Startup University program. It's entirely about the business orientation. So the mechanical engineers can enroll into that program and they can study how to start a company, how to become entrepreneurs. So if they have some ideas in the Open Lab and they make the prototype, they also can set up a company on that, and we provide for them some state-of-the-art knowledge in the Hungarian Startup University program. Soft skills, English is becoming more and more important, so all the students can follow some English programs, but at PhD level, English is obligatory. We have all the students need to pass some proficiency exams in English, and it's an obligatory subject, so they need to study English. We have a strong mobility issue. We introduced the mobility window. Mobility window means that 16 credits studied abroad accepted without hesitation, so without questions. That's an excellent tool for the students. So they can travel abroad, they can study something, and up to 16 credits we can accept that study program without any extra examination or differentiative exams. Physical education even obligatory for the BSc freshman students. And we have started an infrastructure program. The first infrastructure program is dedicated to the physical education. You can see in the picture the new swimming. It's not just one pool, actually it's 3 pools, but it's a brand new location. And we have just started the ice skating hall in Indonesia. I don't know how popular ice skating is, but in Hungary it's quite popular. So we have also an ice skating project, and digital learning. That's the last pillar we want to be more focused on. We have an e-learning system. The university has an e-learning system, and this is the e-learning platform of the Institute of Technology. As you can see, we have all the subjects on this platform, and we have a huge amount of digitalized learning material. Over 300 courses have been developed university-wide and available in digital way. Also, we have many recorded lectures or recorded tutorials. Microsoft Teams is an integrated part of our e-learning program or e-learning platform, and we organize our lectures within the e-learning platform using mainly Microsoft Teams. Other softwares can be used as well, but we provide support for the MS Teams software. And my last slide, because I'm running out of time is about the practical assignments. Why we introduce this very strong enhancement in the practical assignments, the dual mode training, the cooperative training. First of all, for the student, it provides some salary or salary type income. Also, we are convinced that the companies and we send students not to all companies, but those who can comply with certain expectations. So just to the big players or the very modern companies, we send students. So state of the art can be understood more easily at a company. And also the employee competencies can be built easier as a student. So the first months can be survived more easily as a student than as an engineer. And it's very important that at the point of the graduation, our students have a working experience. We even issue some certificate about that, that 1 year was spent at this and this company, or a dual mode training was provided by this and this company. And of course, these students receive a job offer right before the graduation, and they will continue as a co-worker for the given company. Dear colleagues, that was, I think, my last slide. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask any question. I will try to answer your questions. Thank you very much again.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Shabu. Now we open question and answer session. You can raise your hand, or you can write in the chat room. We have here one question from Nuha Desi Anggraini, our colleague. In the term of student-centered learning, which method is more reliable, case study or project-based?
Actually, it's an excellent question. Thank you very much for this question. Both of them are reliable, but we use these two techniques for different purpose. Case study is the theoretical experience or theoretical study of some phenomenon. The project-based issue is more practical, when you need to produce something, when you need to write down something, when you need to discover something. Also, project-based approach is linked in many cases with teamwork. So we try to emphasize the collaboration as a soft skill. So when we are talking about project-based items or project-based elements of our study programs, then we emphasize of the practical part of that. The case study is very good because we can integrate with case studies the state-of-the-art methodologies into the curriculum, but that's still theory because we are talking about the solutions. In case of the project-based, we are doing what we are talking about. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any research on agriculture in outer space? You mean the space research? I mean the Mars and Moon and satellite. As a matter of fact, yes, we have just recently joined the consortium of the Hungarian Space Initiative. We have introduced a postgraduate training program in the field of life sciences for space industry. So how to survive in the space, producing some food material or raw material for food. Exactly, we will start next September. In the field of research, we have just signed, we have many researches related to that, but we have just signed an agreement with the European Space Agency, that's the ESA, that's very similar to the NASA, but that's the European one, not the American one. The European Space Agency has signed an agreement with us to investigate the tribological properties of some material on the moon, and we have just set up a research laboratory for that. You know, it's not just the temperature and not just the pressure difference, but also even the small particles of the Earth. So it's a really interesting. We do have that type of education, the space training program for life science, and also some research, very recent research program in the field of mechanical engineering. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. It's very interesting topics. Yeah. Another question from the audience.
I have question.
Yeah, from Pak Dani. Yeah, please, Pak Dani.
Thank you, Pak Alec. Thank you very much for the interesting topic, Professor Sabu. I'm really interested about the new methodology in engineering education. As you saw to me about, there is a four field, yeah, student-centered, practice-oriented, digital learning, and soft skill. I just want to know about the which for the Hungarian University, which the method implemented for today's situation. Because if we implemented about the practice oriented, actually, if we apply in the Indonesian case, there is a regulation about the contribution of the laboratory system from the industry. I saw in your slide there is a contribution from the Festo, Bose, John Deere, and the other thing. Okay, just this is my question. Thank you.
Yes, you know, when we set up, I mean, being practice oriented means that we need to have the infrastructure for that, and without state-of-the-art equipment, state-of-the-art machineries or instruments, we cannot do that. And we ask the partner companies to invest somehow into this laboratory system, and that's how we set up these laboratories. Of course, we purchase, in many cases, we purchase these equipments, but with significant discount. But in other cases, we just receive it free of charge. It depends on the company's interest. If the company wants to put a little bit more efforts into that, then they provide us with very generous presence or very generous support. OCCO is one of the biggest agricultural technology manufacturer in the world, and they have different brands. It's like John Deere, but they have different brands, not just one brand. And we just received recently a complete tractor the diagnostic laboratory from OCCO, and that was almost 1 million euros, $1 million, let's say. That's a strong involvement in our activities, and the company gave it to us to ensure that our students will be familiar with the technologies they provide, and it will be profitable for them in the future, I'm sure.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor.
Okay, thank you very much. Since we have running out of time, I think we conclude our webinar today. Thank you very much for the presentation, Professor Shabu, and thank you very much for the audience. The time I will give back to the to the panitia. Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Yes.
Thank you very much for this great opportunity. And if you have any questions in the future, you can find me. Professor Rushiraman knows all my contact data, and I'm sure that in the future I will have a chance to visit you once more, or you can visit our university as well. Not just the staff members, but also the students. That would be great. That would be great. Thank you very much again, and good afternoon or good evening already in Indonesia. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Sabo.
Ya, waktu saya berikan ke panitia ya.
Baik, sebelumnya terima kasih banyak kepada Prof. Zabo dan kepada Pak Alexin yang telah membawa diskusi dan materian ini. Luar biasa. Selanjutnya, sebelum mengakhiri acara pada siang hari ini, izinkan kami selaku panitia mendokumentasikan kegiatan ini. Jadi dimohon untuk kepada seluruh peserta, Bapak Ibu dosen untuk menyalakan kameranya ya.
Professor Sabo, we invite you. Okay, the committee will make a picture, I think, together.
Oh, okay. What shall I do for the picture?
It's okay. It's enough. We on cam. All the participants should be on cam only. Sudah?
Oke, saya akan hitung sampai 3 ya. For the first slide. 1, 2, 3. Oke. For the second slide. 1, 2, 3. For the third slide. 1, 2, 3. Oke. Thank you. Oke, terima kasih banyak kepada narasumber, kepada Pak Alexin selaku moderator, dan kepada seluruh peserta yang telah menyimak acara sore ini dengan segala perhatiannya dari awal hingga akhir. Saya mewakili seluruh panitia yang bertugas mengucapkan terima kasih atas mohon maaf atas segala kekurangan. Akhir kata saya MC undur diri. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
What is the
Untuk pemenang door prize akan dihubungi via email ya. Silakan sudah bisa meninggalkan ruang Zoom. Terima kasih untuk Ibu Bapak dosen dan seluruh peserta.
Bu Nuhan?
Ya Pak.
Itu